Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Certain activities are really clear to see through, and they are by the book. That's the standard behavior and course of action in this kind of circumstance. And I will explain what happened here. We have this guy, Alexey Navalny, who was arrested and jailed in Russia by Russia's justice system, not by Putin personally. And obviously they say he is the opposition leader of Putin, and Putin did this and Putin did that, and he keeps him in jail so he can't run against Putin. Possible, probable, I don't know. I will give you one reason, the main reason why I don't think this is accurate. If Putin would be the way these guys are telling us he is, Navalny will be dead for a long time. Okay, he will just sleep while he's taking a shower, and hit his head, back of the head, back of the neck somewhere. He would try to fly from a high rise. Maybe a truck would hit his car sideways, like T-bone him. Things like this that happened by the book in other. But somehow this guy did not do that. But he, because he's more evil than anybody else, he wants to hurt him forever. Is that what it is? Okay. Well, if you do this one time, you escape of any other bullshit. And here's another BS. So, what happened? Mr. Navalny received another 19 years in prison. 19. And people are upset about it because he's not guilty of anything. Right? Right. Now, before I'm going to read this article with Mr. Alexey Navalny, which I don't know if he's guilty or not, the Russian justice system worked the way it works over there. That's corruption there. That's corruption here. So the thing that Putin wanted, I don't buy it. That if he wanted, this guy would have been dismembered. That's what I think. Now, if you are on parole, right? On parole or probation, okay? You have a probation officer, you have a parole officer, two different things. And you have these guys, and whenever you are about to leave the town, let's say I wanted to travel, not even leave the country, the town, I have to inform my parole officer, hey, Gigi, this is my plan, this is my route, the itinerary for these days, I'm going to visit that. So they can find me, and if they need to drug screen me or whatever they need to do, they can find me. Now that's for a loser, parolee or person placed on probation, not Navalny. Now this guy, Navalny, he left Russia, went to Germany because he was poisoned by Putin. Again, unsuccessful, man. Those Russians are just bad. Remember, in Great Britain, a lot of people were poisoned, but these Russians did not put the right quantity or something. And they all survived to tell the story. Tell the tale, right? My friends. Anyway, so he flew because he said, well, the parole or probation, I think it was a parole. Okay, I'm just going to go to Germany by myself because I'm important. So that means I don't have to obey the rules or anything like that. Fuck it, I'm going to do it. Well, that shows you corruption and the mentality. But hey, he's the opposition. He's the good one. So he ignored the judge's decision and the fact that he was on parole. He left, went to Germany, got some things in his ass, and then he came back from Germany, and obviously and normally, if that would happen to you in the free country of United States or Canada or Deutschland, if you were a parolee and you would do this, you would be arrested on the spot where you set foot. Before you set foot, it's going to be like, they pick you up. That's the way it is. And everybody says, oh my God, he's in jail. So he was taken to jail. That's why he's in jail right now. Not because Putin said, oh, it doesn't work today, honey. Try harder. It's lame, baby boy. Anyway, so let's go here and see what's going on. ABC News, you can find it in many other media outlets. Jailed Russian opposition leader Alexey Navalny gets 19 more years in prison. All right, so here it is. Russian President Putin's most prominent opponent was sentenced Friday to an additional 19 years behind bars on extremism charges. Well, he said a lot of shit, but I don't know. Doesn't really matter. I think he's on the payroll of someone. And let me give you this. When I was in the communist times in Romania, Ceausescu, the dictator, had a son. His name was Nicu Ceausescu. So the father was Nicolae, and the son was Nicu. And Nicu was called all kind of names by the Western media and people after the... So Nicu was called the Little Prince, and he could do anything he wanted. We were told by Voice of America, you know, and how's that? Free Europe, radio, blah blah blah. The ones that were forbidden. Because those guys, they were idiots. I'm talking about the Romanians, but the other guys were on the payroll of CIA and State Department. I found out that after the revolution of 1989, so I said, okay, but they want to be our friends. They gave us some information, so they did their part. We took our thing, they did their thing. So back to this guy, to Nicu, the son. We were told that Nicu did a lot of abuse. He would go to a restaurant and beat everybody, and he would do this. He was like, they told us about the Saddam Hussein's son. The same pattern. Or what's his name? Gaddafi's the same thing. So they were basically beasts. Some of them were. Nicu Ceausescu, I don't think he was. Or he was not at the level that other people could have been. So now we are told here that Putin is the guy that can do this and can do that. Again, after the revolution, we found out that all those stories about, not all those stories, all the stories that these guys were telling us were not so, were non-existent, some of them, so there were lies right there, or grossly exaggerated, grossly. And again, people hated Nicu mainly for that, because he abused everything that we could not do, he was allowed to do, which, it was to some extent, but not to the extent they were saying. I'm saying he was not a monster, as these guys want to portray him, but during the Ceausescu's times, these guys were saying he was the monster. Now, obviously, Putin is the monster. Okay, YouTube, are you good with that? Phew, thank you very much. So I can still... All right, so if he's a monster, why is he not this guy up? He just wants to hurt him or something? Why is he going through all these, 19 more years? Because he wants to hurt him? The guy can tweet, I think. Navalny. Navalny has video conferences that you can... What kind of jail is that? What kind of jail is that? The same with Saakashvili from Georgia. He can appear, he can talk, he can communicate. I think he can write emails. Obviously, they are checked when they go out. But still, he can communicate. You can see him, right? You can see him in videos. I saw him making statements. How? If I would be Putin and I'd be bad person, this guy would be in a what? In one by one, in a cube, right? Over there. Solitary confinement like the Japanese did in the Second World War, in some kind of, how do you call those camps? Prisoner camps, right? You did something bad, they put you over there, and like in a cage, and they kick you out, you're a nice guy, let's move on. There are movies about that. I know that if I say there are books, people are like, books? What's that? We say, hey, that's a movie. Oh, okay. I'm just kidding. Not you, because I know you guys, since you're here, we are different. In a good way. Because you can be different, but in a bad way. So let's see what these wizards are saying here. So a Russian judge, delivered the guilty verdict and sentencing in the closed-door trial against Alexey Navalny at a courtroom inside a maximum security prison camp 145 miles east of Moscow, where the Russian opposition leader is, again, they make it that way, okay, is serving 11 and a half years. Russian prosecutors has requested. Initially, he was sentenced, but they don't talk about it because they make you think that he was just picked by Putin, grabbed by the, not balls, doesn't have balls, but the pussy, and thrown into the jail for nothing. But again, you can make up things. Remember when it was, I think it was Kaganovich or Yogoda. Who was that? One of these guys, I think. Told Stalin, you show me the person, I find you the crime. So if they try to put these things together, put in the same thing as those guys. There's no such a comparison in my assessment. You know, the gulags and these kind of things. So in this case, what Navalny did, he was charged with money embezzlement or something like this, with some money problems, with like Al Capone, with tax evasion and so on. Was it true? Was it fake? Since they don't really mention it, you know, say falsely accused or so on as a title, and they start from the middle. He was the accused. Poor guy was just coming from Germany. I'm going to read that for you right here. And I'm not, again, I don't want you to, maybe you can get the impression, you can get whatever impression you can get, but just to be verbal, I don't have anything against that guy. But I think he's a tool, okay? And I don't like tools. And I don't think he is over there for the freedom and love of the Russian people. That's all. I don't like how these guys portray him as being this second to Jesus Christ. I don't believe that. Okay, I don't like the way, this is my point. I don't have a problem with him. I think, as I said, I think he's on the other people's payroll, which would be treason. But how these guys are defending, and this defense that these guys play for this guy over there, it's very suspect to me. That's all. I got that out of the system. Whew. All right, let's see. So it says the Russian prosecutors had requested a 20-year prison term for the latest charges, which stem from Navalny's pro-democracy campaigns against Putin's regime. Okay. It's Navalny's fifth criminal conviction and longest prison sentence to date. All of the charges have been widely viewed as a politically motivated strategy by the Kremlin to silence its fiercest critic. Why didn't they give something to eat? You know, and then this guy would be silenced. What are you talking about? The United States subsequently called for Navalny's immediate release. Okay, describing his latest conviction and sentencing as, and I'm quoting, an unjust conclusion to an unjust trial. Okay, why is the United States jumping on this and not, let's say, France? Okay, all right, let's see here. This is important right here, because I already got it. Navalny, a 47-year-old lawyer turned politician, has been jailed since 2021 upon returning to Russia after recovering in Germany from nerve agent poisoning that he blamed on the Kremlin. In 2022, a Russian judge added another 9 years to Navalny's sentence of 2.5 years for embezzlement and other charges. All right, what didn't you hear here? About parole. Did you hear anything about parole here? No, he was just jailed, the poor guy. Okay? He was just recovering for nerve agent he blamed. Like I can blame you guys without evidence, and we go in court, then I get for labeling, right? So here it is, and he's again over there for embezzlement and other charges. They didn't say here unfounded, fictitious, which could be not. I don't know. That's their justice system, good or bad. So this is where is the United States? Because I know they did. They talk all kind of, you know, to be honest, we help Putin, blah, 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 blue, blue, blue. I know it was here something. Let me find it actually. Oh, here it is. So we have Matthew Miller from U.S. Department of State. Okay, this says here, the United States strongly condemns Russia's continued detention of Navalny, Vladimir Kara-Murza, and the more than 500 other designated political prisoners Russia holds. We will continue to follow their cases closely and advocate for the release of all unjustly detained persons. So Navalny is unjustly detained. How about Assange? Oh, you want him? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, thank you very much. How about Hunter Biden? Oh, okay. All right. I got it. Jesus Christ. These are the lowest hanging fruits that I can use as examples, okay? I don't have to go deeper into that. I can mention the Clintons. I don't want to, disappear. I'm not implying anything, guys. I'm just making jokes. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.